Okay, this is just for posterity's sakes. Is it posterity or posterity? Project, posterity. Let's go with posterity. So this is like day 4. I had this frickin' table saw idea in my head every night, and I finally got a decent miter saw, an old Hitachi. And what can I say? It's not a 10-inch saw. I think it's an 8 1/4 maybe, but whatever. It's still fairly long cut, and it's straight, sliding compound. All right, it's good. So now I started building this chop saw stand. Huge. This, I didn't have any other saws. I would cut this here so I have more room, but whatever, that's later. So here's the table saw idea. So what I did was, I'm like racking my brains, like I just need to mount a, what do you call it, a skill saw, I mean a circular saw. This is the crappiest circular saw you ever did see. Ozito. Anyways, I got it mounted in there. And what my premise was why not have a fixed fence? Well, although this one is adjustable with the clamps, but let's say it was further down, like over here, and screwed in place. Why not bring the blade to the fence? So I can move the whole sled back and forth. It goes all the way down on these rails and will come out here. So the blade will actually end up all the way up, you know, close to here. And then if I want, I slide it all the way out here, which will give me, I think I got about 36-inch cut for panels and stuff. And right now, it's amazingly accurate and easy to use, because if I want to cut, let's say, a piece of wood, and I'm like, okay, let's dial this in, and I got the blade. You got to go underneath to raise the blade, but you can adjust the height. You can see what I'm saying though here. So I want to go in here, and I want to just take off a blade's width of this to fit it on something. So you're like, okay, you know, from the top you're like, okay, I just want to take off a blade's width. I'll knock this over a bit. There you go. Look at that. Friggin' macro. You can, it's, well, I mean, any table saw is this accurate, but for a home built circular saw and fence, I'm impressed with how well it works. I mean, I built it, not to toot my own horn. It's pretty rudimentary, but it works well. It's all scrap wood. So I've been nibbling stuff and doing a regular table saw work with it today. And then if you want, you just, it still has an adjustable fence. And what can I say? It's just, you just slide it where you want. This is square, as I could get it. This is a filler piece for the height, so that the table will slide underneath. There's a slight gap in there for, actually it's pretty sweet. No dust will build up there between the table and the fence. And what is the other one, last benefit? Oh yeah, this is the table saw tip of the day. First of all, try not to have to build your own table saw. Go buy a construction saw, what do they call those, a contractor saw, or a proper table saw. That's always good. But I'll tell you, I learned this a long time ago. Say your blade's up here, wherever, and I heard this from someone, and it's true. I mean, your workpiece gets cut at the front, and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't get cut at the back. It cuts here. So your fence should be basically a little bit that way at the back, by a couple of, maybe whatever, degree. You don't want it dead parallel with the blade. You want it to start to fade away here and splay out instead of being exactly parallel with the blade. So when your workpiece goes through, doing this one-handed, when your workpiece goes through, if you get that, well, my hand I wouldn't be doing it like this, but let's do it this way. See, people are scared to go near the blade. Like I'm not saying I'm not scared, but freaking I'll cut this like this with my hand. I'm just pressing down like hell and holding it tight, and I don't know. Anyways, probably not recommended. But I did. Where is it? I built a push stick, so don't be a hater. So what was my point? Yeah. So when you're cutting through here, and you're past the, you know, it's cut. By the time you get here, it's apart. Your other parts, you know, the other things faded away, going somewhere, and this is going through, still beside the blade. If you hear a zing at the end of your cuts, you're going like this, zing, and you see a little bit of darkness here, or the edge of the board is just kind of got a little bevel or fade on it, a little chamfer on it. It's because you got your fence set so parallel that by the time it gets to here, keeps moving, pardon, when it gets through to the back side of the blade, it's still engaging the teeth of the blade. And you hear that ding, and you get a mark right here and a little bit of a, looks like it's just been, you know, sort of dented. But that's my tip of the day. Don't set your fence dead parallel. Set it off the back a degree so it's open. That's what it is. Open fence at the back. Cut. You should actually have, when you get to here, tutorial time. When you get past the blade, it should actually not even touch the blade. It should be clear by, I don't know, let's say a 30-second. And you should not hear anything. No zing. I've even set this thing up off just a touch at the back. When I lock it down and I'm done, before I start, you know, I give it a visual look and knock it to see if it's moved a bit, and I know that my piece won't bind up at the end. And then you know you're clear sailing. You've got a piece this thin. Let's say you're using your hand like me. Anyways, don't hate her if I put this on YouTube. When I get through here, I already know I'm safe. If it's cut and this piece is floated away or wherever it is, doesn't matter, or if I'm just shaving a blade's width off of this, when I get to here, I'm basically not even in danger anymore, because it's not gonna, well, if it engages the blade, it'll kick back, but I'm pretty confident about pressing it tight against the fence. When I'm here, I'm not gonna hear no "ing" and some freaking smoke in the mirrors. All right, that's it. I'm proud of my new fence.